Jai Gajanan, Ganeshaya Namastubhyam, Herambay Ekadantine, Swanandavasine Tubhyam, Brahmanaspataye Namaha. With humble pranams to all Paramacharyas, Acharyas and Gurus, let us continue with our discussion on Jnanasara. Today we shall talk about the Deeksha Sanskar into the Siddhi Marga on this path. Narada is asking question to Surya. He says that I thought that Gargya Muni, Mudgal Rishi were the main devotees of Ganapa. But then I heard Shiva say that there was all the 5 devas, Indra, Munis, Yogis, they also went to the abode of Swananda Loka. How did that happen? Of course, there were authoritative figures like Gargya Muni who was even considered the Vibhuti. He became a friend of Mayuresh Ganesh, the best of Brahmas. But then, what did the others do? What meritorious deeds did they do that they could attain Brahmanaspati Ganesha? Please tell me all about it, O Bhaskara. Surya replies, ancestors of Gargya Muni were Brahmins from the Kashi Kshetra. They belonged to the highly influential lineage of the Bhrigu lineage. Then the Isha of the Jagat, then there were Yatis, that is the sannyasis who took the sannyas Deeksha. Then there were Siddha Purushas such as Skanda, who was also a Shambhu's Shishya. They were born in this family. On a particular day, he requested humbly, with devotion, that Lord of Swananda incarnated as Kashyapa's son. He took a human body to go to Kashi Raja's palace. Staying there, he performed a number of leelas as a child. Within his powers, he killed a number of demons. This is there in the Mudgal Puran. It is very rare to attain the knowledge of Brahma and the Siddhi of experiencing the being of Brahma. The citizens say that attaining Swan in the palace and the joy of friendship of Ganesha himself is very rare on earth. O Lord, please tell me how I too can attain it. Hearing this, the Munishwara replied, I do not know the best method of worship of Ganapati because since birth I have been a worshipper of Shiva. I have followed the path of yoga step by step and have become a Shaivite. And established as a Shaivite or Shaivism, I follow the Sahaja way, the Sahaja path, and have knowledge of being self-absorbed. In order to attain Yoga Shanti, it is necessary to follow the union of Sadashiva and the form of Swananda Ganesha, that is Brahmanaspati. So for that we need to follow the Ganesh Yoga Marga unceasingly, then you can become a Ganapat. So with the grace of Ganesha, you will then attain Yoga Shanti. With the by this you will become a Purna Ganesha, that is Ganesha is a devotee of Ganesha. So and then you can become an expert in Yoga Marga by attaining the Purna Yoga Shanti. My guru, that is Shambhu, who was earlier Maheshwara, Mahadeva, now he is Shambhu. From Shiva I gave it to, he had said that from Shiva I gave it to Dakshinamurti Manu. Gaurisha was pleased and in order to attain the desired siddhis, he had to do Upasana of Ganesh. He made efforts to worship Parameshwara and equipped with this, he gave Manu the title the best of yogis, that is Dakshinamurti. To please Parameshwara, he gave the title at Kashi in a Jnana Mandapa to this Manu Dakshinamurti. He also gave him sequential instructions for praying to Brahmanaspati. So I happened to hear that when that was said. So I shall tell you about that. So listen to it with respect. This is what Surya is telling, what he heard in Shiva narrated to all those munis who are sitting in front of him. So Shiva had said, Sushil, you are my student. Listen to the secret of Vedas, the subtle path for attaining the Purna Ganapatya Siddhi on earth. There are 6 types of Ganapa initiation, of which 4 are external in nature. That is, there are 6 Deeksha methods, out of which 4 are external, 2 are internal, like Yoga Nirvana. The internal 2 types are known to be Jnana Yogis, and the initiation for Upasaks are external initiation, which are the 4 types. So first one is Samaya Deeksha. This is accompanied with chanting the 6-lettered or the single-lettered mantra serially. The Samaya initiation bestows Ganeshatva on the person who is getting initiated. Brahma Gayatri is repeated secretively in the ears by the Brahmin during the ceremony. That is, a person who is initiating the student, he chants the mantra in the ears. The Ganapata mantra is taught as appropriate. First, before that, the preparation happens. The student's hair on the head is tonsured, keeping a tuft of hair on top of the head. He is also instructed as to how to chant the Gayatri mantra, touching the different parts of the body. As part of the initiation ceremony, he is introduced to various Mahavakyas from the Veda Shastras before the formal initiation into the mantra. He is also instructed about Puranas, their Mahatmyam, the glory, and Ganapata Suktam, Sahasranama Stotra, and Trishati Stotra. He is also informed about the 9-lettered mantra and other mantras, and out of which he has to select one and repeat it 10 times. This is popular in the Puranas. Chanting Sahasranama Stotra and Atharva Shesh 1,000 times is also done in order to attain Siddhis, which is contained in that particular stotra. O twice born, there is also the practice of repeating the Trishati Stotra 10,000 times in preparation before such rituals. That is to get the necessary sanctity and purification which will make this initiation siddha, that is actualized. That it carries that energy with it to the student, from the Deekshita to the student. Homa is done during while chanting the Rigvedic hymns and Smriti Suktas. In Homa, where it is done in parts, we chant the Nama Stotra in the beginning and by adding the Swaha while offering the oblations into the Homa Kunda. Since ancient times, chanting of this Gananam Tva mantra, Gananam Tva Ganapati Gumavame, that mantra, it is very well known. The number of times this mantra is chanted before commencement of the Homa is predetermined. They decide we will chant 11,000 times or 1 lakh times, and accordingly that many number of persons are seated, so that many number gets completed through certain rounds of repetition. If you have 5 people and you chant one round of 100, then 100 multiplied by 5 people becomes 500 automatically. So in that way, the number of repetitions is predetermined, and accordingly the people are selected for seating for chanting this mantra. Then chanting the Panchashad Varna mantra 4 lakh times is said to bring siddhis. In the works related to Varna, in 3 sovereign paths, that is Ekakshara mantra is said to be the best. Chanting Ekakshara mantra 10 times or 10 lakh times are well known. Chanting the Kilakam, Pancharam, Varma Hridayam Stotra while doing japa and other karmas are also done. Then 10,000 repetitions of this Kilakam is done to bestow the siddhis. Man can also attain siddhis by chanting Varma mantra, half of that number. If it is for progeny, if it is for um, getting a child, then homa is done at the end of it. The white portion of the coconut mixed with jaggery and sesame seeds is offered. This mixture is into a scooped cup of coarsely ground parched grains and steamed to make modak. This is used with 8 types of grains in the Ganesh Homa. Along with samida, rice and other grains, chanting is done 21 times. Durva Homa is also well known, but it is best with coconuts. Again, in Modak Homa, Shrutis also mention offering parched grains for Archana. This is a particular specific initiation for having a progeny. One can observe rituals in weeks or months or a year according to one's capacity. Means you can have, say, rituals for having this Homa every Chaturthi or every Tuesday, whatever you may decide according to your ability and the availability of the persons and samagri, the materials and things like that. So, but what is essential is to have faith in the devotion, faith and devotion to the deity and do the puja. Fasting for 1 week, once a week is helpful. For Ganesha devotees, Tuesday is very important. Friday is preferred for Ganesha with Siddhi Buddhi. In a weekly fast, break the fast at night and light a lamp to the Paramatma. Do Ganesh Puja daily. Do Ganesh Puja with special Naivedya and chant the Trishati of Ganesha or on the Shukla Paksha Chaturthi day while observing fast. One can offer Naivedya of Modak and chant the Sahasranama Stotra with Archana to Gananatha as part of the main duties. Then we can also do Abhisheka and appropriate offerings on Krishna Chaturthi, where night time is most important. Nighttime puja is more important. On Panchami, Homa Karya twice. Do the Homa Karya twice with Archana of rice, Archana. A Ganesha should do all this seated next to the deity. Apart from all this, as daily pujas or daily or weekly pujas, once a year you visit the Ganesh Kshetra, at particularly Swananda Kshetra at Morgaon, which is considered as a king of Kshetras. Then one can undertake a pilgrimage of 3 weeks or at least 1 week, twice every half year, once in 6 months. And do the Pancha Sanskara as mentioned in the Shrutis. That is weekly fasting, chanting the Trishati for attaining Siddhis, chanting on Chaturthi 100 times, and all this will bring definitely the results or what you desire for. Doing puja during the whole of Shravan month will bestow the 10 Siddhis. Going to Mayuresh Kshetra during the month also bestows thrice the Siddhis, 3x results, we say, no? That way. Then for that, purchase or idol for worship is important. An idol made of Shwetarka. Shwetarka, the tree, it's a tree where the roots, extract is made and then it's molded and the idol is prepared. Or even ivory of an elephant is very excellent as an idol. The initiated should perform puja without any desires. A Ganesha should also perform yantra archana, Siddhi Buddhi puja and daily offering to Agni for Ganesha as the Lord of the world, Vishwadeva. One should also do Ganesh Tarpanam also. If a person wants to attain certain special siddhis, for that we have the Archana of the Yantra Archana and Puja, where 1,000 times the puja is done. So it could be over a period of 3 years or according to the convenience. And then a yagna for Brahmanaspati is done following all the appropriate rituals. Its success, of course, is determined by of how much strict we are in observing the various rituals as ordained, and also doing the Upachara Puja. That is 16 items of offerings are made. Like honey, mixture, sugar, jaggery, and so many other things to one's favorite deity. Then offering Agni daily will attain its siddhi when done continuously for 1000 days. Doing Tarpana for Vishwadeva ensures attainment of siddhis. The Dashopanishad of Vignesh is first, Ganesh Gita is the second of the Prasthana Trayam, third is reading the Ganesh Darshana Shastras in the form of sutras. So these are the three things that are necessarily to be done for 1000 days when when you want to attain a particular siddhi. This is called Jnana Deeksha or knowledge initiation. 100 repetitions are known to confer siddhis. Reflecting on its meaning for 10 weeks makes it a reality. That is, you get to actualize it. Instructing students for 10 weeks bestows siddhis of the principles. This has been proved by the best of Munis who have as observed by experts in the Vedanta. Then when you are going through the Veda Deeksha, knowledge of Shastras enters into the heart suddenly. That is, there is an opening where you get to it is actually, like you can say, it's a download of all these Shastras which happens in Veda Deeksha, and when this happens, he accepts it and can start saying it accordingly. Such knowledge made it possible for the birth of Vedanta Shastras. The Ganesh Brahmanaspati resides at Mayura secretively. Having given this darshan, thus it sets me free to express in words which I love and thus speak in the best way. So that is when you get this kind of initiation, automatically a channel opens within you where you are able to express these thoughts freely and confidently. So completion of the Upasana mark gives birth to siddhis, which becomes the guiding light. With daily practice of meditation, complete knowledge can be attained. There is no other way for it. It is also necessary to systematically do sadhana of Ganapa. That is various practices. Then you can even become friends with other Ganesha devotees on earth, even with Ganesha himself. One can attain liberation and the abode of Ganesha after death. For this, worship of the Absolute without any personal desires is essential. In order to make this Deeksha, initiation, praiseworthy, we should prepare ourselves for the Deeksha before the initiation ceremony as such. The principles for this has been given in the Purana Kalpas. One should imbibe these principles one by one and go on the path until completion. Vedic scholars compare this to the path followed by the black ant. The big black ant that is there, it's like how it follows a certain path. Very strictly it follows that same path. Following all the resolutions on the path, fly like a bird and make the path a pleasant one, O Brahman. And now give me permission to leave. That is, after saying this, Shiva concludes his talk and then concludes what he is telling, and then he asks for permission to leave. So Surya is now continuing that after Shiva concludes. He says, after listening to this, I like the path of the bird for initiation, which leads to the being of Parameshwara. Praying in this manner, as heard from Mahesha itself, Munis began the process from the first day of Shukla Paksha of Bhadrapad month as prescribed. Due to the earlier sanskaras, devotees began the worship work wholeheartedly. Secondly, they got themselves initiated for chakara through the samay method, that is, through the lamp. More significantly, the initiation involved 10 sanskaras, means 10 practices of sadhana which has to be done regularly every day. Thirdly, they loved the knowledge about Chaturthi. The Munis started working on the path of Parameshwar. All initiation made it possible for the initiates to become good-tempered and the best of Brahmins. They also started a worship of Ganesha without any break. So this is the discussion about Deeksha or initiation into the practice, so that a formal initiation gives the impetus, the energy. It's like an engine that starts the vehicle moving. We shall look into the further study on Jnanasara in the next session. Jai Gajanan.